Hey, welcome back. We've all heard this before, the 3 Bs of precision shooting. You know, bullets, barrels, and brass. But which one is the most important to your success as a precision shooter? Whether that's bench rest, F-class, PRS, or long-range hunting. I don't like the reverse countdown videos, so we're going to do this forward. What is the most important of these 3 things? And that is barrels. Ultimately, if you have a barrel that's not good, it doesn't matter what you feed it. You can feed it the best bullets in the world, lathe-turned solids that are absolutely perfect, and it's still going to shoot mediocre groups. If your barrel is not good, it doesn't matter what you feed it. You can waste all the money in the world feeding it expensive components and find out that it still doesn't shoot. You got to have a good barrel. If you have a barrel that is suspicious, feed it good components for maybe 50 or 80 rounds. If it doesn't group, pull that sucker off and put another one on, because the components cost more money than the barrel does. Even now, with costs going skyrocketing and barrels costing more than $700 to get a new one, well, it's still cheaper to buy a new barrel than to go through several hundred rounds of ammunition looking to see if you can make it shoot. I'm not going to get into barrel selection and give you references as to who is best and who is worst. You know what? I shoot Krieger, Bartlein, Brux, Benchmark. I shoot Hawk Hill. I shoot Criterion, and they all produce good barrels. Take your pick, roll the dice, and see what you get. Now remember, no matter who the barrel manufacturer is, they can make a bad barrel from time to time. If you get one, that's just your bad luck. Move on, buy another barrel, and go do it again. The vast majority of barrels, like 99.9% of barrels that I get, are excellent barrels. And with a good chamber job, you're going to get a really good outcome. You're going to have a barrel that will show the differences between good components and bad components and give you those itty-bitty groups that you desire. Number 2 was really a toss-up because there are 2 things that balance with each other really closely in this. Barrels, I think, are most important. Second most important, but not by very much, is bullets. If you have bullets that are not good or not optimal, not designed properly, they aren't going to shoot well no matter what barrel you put them through. Or they might shoot well through one barrel, but no others. That's not going to give you a good outcome over time. Instead, you want a good, dependable, reliable bullet, like the 180 grain hybrid bullet from Berger, or if you're into extreme stuff, the Hottenstein 180 grain hybrid bullet, available at Bullet Central. These are amazing. Being a boutique bullet, they are more expensive than the Bergers are, but, well, if you got to have everything you can get out of the rifle, you might want to consider a boutique bullet. So I'm sure somebody's going to ask, what's your favorite bullet in .22 caliber? Currently, the 77 TMK from Sierra shoots really well through my .223. I have never shot a Berger bullet through a .223 Remington. It just seemed like a waste for a cartridge that I'm intending to use for very low expense practice. If I ever get around to doing it, I'll give a review of the bullet that I do try, but at this point, I've never tried a Berger, so that's my current favorite. Moving on up to the 6mm, and the 6mm, I really like the 105 grain hybrid from Berger. This is an excellent bullet and gives really good precision. Likewise, the 105 grain hunting VLD is an excellent bullet. I shot it in F-class for quite a few years, shooting 500-yard days that were in the 654X range again and again. The difference between the two is I think the hybrid is a little easier to tune. Not by much, but it is a little easier to tune. Once you get a little experience tuning VLDs, it's really not all that hard, but take your chances, pick your bullet. Moving on up to 7mm, the 180 grain hybrid that I talked about before, and the Hottenstein bullet. Next is 30 caliber. Now, in 30 caliber, I only shoot the 308 Winchester. I don't shoot anything bigger. So my favorite bullet is the 185 grain Juggernaut. If you want to go a little heavier, the 200 grain hybrid bullet is an excellent bullet. I have never shot the 220X though. So I don't have any experience with that one. Don't know what to tell you about it. In hunting bullets, the Barnes 168 grain TSX bullet is absolutely amazing. If you go watch my video right here, that bullet performed really well out of a pencil barrel in my hunting rifle. So now that we've talked about barrels and bullets, that only leaves brass. Why is brass last? Well, barrels and bullets have a much bigger impact on the total outcome of your shooting than brass does. I've shot brass from a variety of manufacturers. I've shot some pretty crummy brass and shot really good scores with it. So I know that you can get around the brass pretty easily. There's a really simple rule of thumb. If you shoot around and the velocity is way off, or it shoots way out of the group, just take that piece of brass and go pling, and it's gone. It's called fire sorting. And that only takes one cycle through to do. And now all that's left is the brass that is really good out of the batch. Fire sorting is even done on Lapua brass. Think about that. I fire sort my Lapua brass. If I find one that throws flyers, I mark it. If it throws another flyer, it's gone. It's that important to get rid of the pieces of brass that do funny stuff. It could be banana shaped. It could be that one side's thicker than the other. It could be any number of things. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's just a matter that that particular case doesn't shoot well. So we get rid of it. There's no reason to keep stuff that doesn't shoot well around. Be careful about fire sorting in too detailed of a level, because you can throw away good cases really easily due to other variations in the system. All right, guys, until next time, shoot straight, select your components wisely, and I'll see you in the next video.